I'd like to call on a distinguished gentleman who is currently the chairman of the board of directors for the Liberian Business Association in the Americas. None other but the gentleman, Mr. Frank Ngafua. Let's welcome him to the stage. And he's going to make a statement. Come on, let's welcome him to the stage. All right, here you go. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. Yeah. It's a little bit, we need to put some energy in here. Good evening. Good evening. Much better. My fellow Liberians, business owners and friends of Liberia, greetings and welcome to the launching of the Liberian Business Associations in the diaspora. On behalf of the board of directors, I would like to thank each of you for joining us for this historic launch. A special note of thanks to the president of the Liberian Bank for Development and Investment, LBDR, Honorable John Davis, who has traveled from Liberia to be our guest speaker this evening. I am excited and energized about our future. I say ours because too long we have worked individually without the success that we desire. We are now at a point where we have grown our individual businesses. We have reached our critical mass. Our success is inevitable if we work together. Our country's development in all sectors, agriculture, commerce, tourism, etc., is the responsibility of all of us working together. Therefore, we must remember and we must be encouraged by the stanza in our beloved country's national anthem. In union, strong success is sure. We cannot fail. The dream we had yesterday about our country's greatness, someday is today. Let's seize the moment so that history will not judge us for lack of unity and commitment to our country. I just want to take this time again to thank all of us for coming this evening. I am more than energized and I'm willing to fight the cause so that we can all work together and see Liberia progress. Thank you all this evening.
So we're going to go on with this program. There's a lot of things to do. So I'm going to call on several people who will come up and make statements. And we will begin by asking to come to the podium a gentleman who I've known personally for many, many years. Started in the bank, Wells Fargo Bank. He worked there so many years. And I'm very impressed by what he's done. You remember I talked in the beginning that there are people who actually have made milestones that others can follow. And he has done so well. He's established his business in recent years. But this man has been an investor actually for many, many years. And it's no surprise that his business, the Global African Foods, is now booming. So I'll call Mr. James Sanicola, who is the owner, up to the podium, and he's going to say a few words to us. Mr. Sanicola.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for coming. I'm just going to say a little statement about the Liberian Business Association, for which we are so proud to be a part of. I know we are getting old, so I got to wear my glasses. First of all, for those who don't know me, my name is James Sanicola from Global African Foods. And my wife is sitting back there. I got to I better introduce her, Karen. She's my co-partner. And the question we are asking ourselves when we talk about this organization, it's a new and it's also an old organization. Why the Liberian Business Association today? Well, it's very interesting. If I look back, I happen to be one of the old pioneer of Minnesotans, or Liberian in Minnesota. If you look at the growth of the Liberian population, when I first came to Minnesota, there was less than 100 Liberians in this state. And over the past 10, 20 years, there have been over 40,000 plus Liberians in Minnesota. Now you start wondering, well, what happened? Why it took so long for us to develop this kind of organization? Is that one of the reasons is that it's about time we Liberians get together and do something for ourselves. We look at the businesses, especially when you look at the grocery stores, food distribution, for which I'm a part of. 40% of us who consume those products are Liberian. Yet 100% of those who own those grocery stores are either from Nigeria, Ghana, Togo, and other part of Africa. The question is, why not us? See? So instead of us going to those stores, although they're African stores, which also patronize our own African, instead of us going to the Asian store and those kind of stores, why don't we support ourselves? So the Liberian Business Association is educational and a business association. So what we want to do is we want to conscientize the Liberian people, our Liberian citizens, educate them about why would you buy from ourselves. I remember when I was growing up in Liberia, our businesses were dominated by Lebanese. A Liberian person would pass the Liberian store and go buy from the Lebanese. And worst of all, you would take, I saw people take tens of thousands of dollars and give it to a Lebanese person just to keep. And when you think about it, you say, yeah, that's crazy. Somebody you don't know, yet you're giving him hundreds of thousands of dollars just to keep. Yet when they're ready to leave the country, guess what? They take it with them. See? And we have done that in all sectors of our economy. You look at mining, you look at gold. Somebody just called me from Liberia a couple of weeks ago and said, James, you got to come and get into the diamond business. I said, but I'm not into the diamond business. But guess what happened? Said some Israelis came here. They took about $8 million worth of diamond out of Liberia. I said, are you kidding me? He said, no, that just happened. You know what that can do for our institution over there? We have schools that need to be developed. We have infrastructure that need to be developed. But guess what? Those products, those resources are not being used by Liberians. Why not us? So that's part of what we are trying to educate ourselves and see how we can make an impact. And when you look at it locally in Brooklyn Park, Liberians constitute at least 50% of the population in Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center. But why don't we have impact on the city? Why don't we have a representative on the city council? Those are some of the things that we want to emphasize, educate our brothers and sisters on how we can impact not only the business community, but the political and economic community. And you look also, going back to the investment climate. I think when you go to Wells Fargo in Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, that's a long line of Liberians standing out there. What is it that Wells Fargo is providing us? Those are some of the questions that we want to address our fellow Liberians and how we can enhance their ability to purchase some of those investment instruments that would benefit them instead of us just giving. Because we Liberians, we are very, very good. We are very giving people. We are one of the few people in the world that if I go to a restaurant, another Liberian come in there while I'm eating, although they are coming to buy their food, yet I will invite them to come and eat with me. You see, too many people don't do that. We are very nice to each other, but what we don't do is we don't promote ourselves. And it's about time that we look at ourselves and say, well, why not us? People also, one of the complaints that we get is, Liberian businesses, we take advantage of our citizenry. But guess what? Every business does that. It's not only Liberian, other businesses do that too. But yet, when we do it, we get the biggest complaint. So let's not make an excuse for why we can't do business with Liberian. See, because if you come to my store, I say, well, James, guess what? Your price is a little bit too high. I said, Liberian, guess what? We always negotiate with one another. Anyway, if that's 5%, 10%, I would take off that 10% just to make sure that I satisfy you as a Liberian, to make sure that we work together. Because if you give me a penny, I can guarantee you half of that penny I'm going to send to Liberia to somebody that you might know, and that might also be helped by that money that we transmit to Liberia. So, and also, some of the things that we are trying to do is the importation of rice. I mean, we are sending rice to Liberia every other week. You ask yourself, why are we doing that? If we can grow like Liberia is growing its own rice, why isn't the rice coming this way? And the rice that is growing in Liberia is even better than the one we are eating today. So why are we not bringing those rice here? So those, because we haven't thought that, hey, guess what? The rice that is growing in Liberia is not good. When we grew up, that's how we view the product that we're growing in Liberia. So ladies and gentlemen, our business association is not only a business association, but it's also an educational association. Let's educate each other. Why would you help each other? Maybe when we go back to Liberia, we might have an impact on the government, on businesses that operate there. So thank you for coming. I don't want to keep talking, so we got a lot of people coming up here. So thank you very much for coming.
Well, what Mr. Sanikola is saying rings true. I just shared two data with you that came out quite recently. Do you know that the buying power of Africans in Minnesota alone is up to $50 billion? You wonder where that money is going to. It's going somewhere. So if you're not putting it into the pockets of Liberian businesses to help our community, then it means you're giving it to other people. It's true. And then in January, a new study came out from the Demography Center in Minnesota. And guess what? We got no excuse to talk about Somali or any other culture group, because the state of Minnesota has divided culture groups in Minnesota into 17 categories in terms of countries. And guess what? Now Liberia is listed as its own category, as is Somali. So we got no excuse to look to other people, right? We have the opportunity to do it better for ourselves. With that, I want to call on the man who is responsible for our community, the chairman of the board of the Organization of Liberians in Minnesota, all of you are familiar with, been around for many, many years, and he will come and make a statement. Mr. Erasmus Williams.
Good evening. Right? First, before I begin with my brief remarks, I would like to ask if you are a county leader and you are in the room, can you please join me on stage? If you are a member of the board of directors of the Organization of Liberians in Minnesota, can you please also join me on stage? Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. President of the bank, LBDI, Republic of Liberia, Honorary Counsel General Select of the State of Minnesota, and President of the Liberian Business Association, in presence of Honorable Jackson George, Mr. Chairman of the Board of the Liberian Business Association, Honorary Counsel General Select of the State of California, here present, you are welcome. Members and CEOs of different Liberian business here present. Patriot and sponsors of this event. My fellow Liberian, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The reason why I call on the county leaders that you see here tonight, and also with me is my second in command, the Vice Chairman of the Board, in presence of Mr. Sisi Goya. These are the people that will be taking the Liberian Business Association to a whole different level. Everybody here represents a huge constituent in our community. And if we must help the Liberian Business Association to succeed, then we have to market its ideology to all the Liberians out there. There is no doubt that we as Liberians, we have some level of skepticism in the way we are receptive to one another, especially the formation of new ideologies of this nature. And some of the benefit that this organization will be providing, we want to be able to market it. So every time I have the opportunity to speak at a church or speak at other engagement and see Liberians who are doing well in business, we can refer them and say, are you a member of the Liberian Business Association? And hopefully at that time, the benefit that this association will provide will be itemized and we can be able to speak to those specific. But it's very important, and that is the reason why I call them up here. So we are here to give you our support as businesses, because just before I traveled to Liberia, I received a call about the IB Express going out of business. And I wanted to ask the governor, the president of LBDI Bank, what could have been done to prevent a renowned business such as IB Express to go out of business and nobody around to even give them a little helping hand. I do business, I'm a car dealer. Sometimes I lost 20,000. Sometimes in a week I lost 7,000. And sometimes I turn around and I get money back. It's normal in the business world, because sometimes you buy a car for $10,000, you find the transmission is bad. What do? That's money being deposited. So I'm not here to shift blame on what they did wrong. What I'm saying, if we have a union of this nature, could have been more helpful. Maybe there was nobody for them to sit down and talk to. Maybe everyone else was judging them instead of trying to find solutions. So it's very important. While you are here, I want you all to leave from this room believing in this association. When I went to Liberia, I met with the president and we spoke about diaspora engagement. Every day you send one car, a Toyota Corolla, you spend $500 to free it. That same car you send the next day, you spend $1,000 to free it. The next time you send a car, they'll ask you to pay $2,000. It is important. An association of this nature. I will not bore you with a lot of things, but I know from where I speak, you understand where I'm headed. Again, we are in this together. The founders of this association, on behalf of the organization Liberians in Minnesota and the county leaders here represented, you guys have our full support. You can call on us anytime, and by the time you reach the point where you can itemize the benefit, let us know. We can be able to spread the word to all of Liberia. Please support this initiative. God bless you. Thank you all.
Up.